here it is Sean. He says, so now women can have kids in their late 30s and 40s, choose their kids' DNA like a My Player on 2K, like she has 1 million VC, and pretty soon they'll be able to bring back Big Mama and Paw Paw from the grave to complete the family. Man, send it. And do not bring me back to life after. All right, you don't want to be a part of this. All right, you might not have any choice. They'll bring you back, and you're like, damn. All right, I've been frozen for 13,000 years. Yes, indeed. All right. Yes, they can do this, man. I mean, we are literally playing the hand of God with how we're creating human beings. We're trying to basically change nature. And I don't know if you guys know it. That's what we've been doing. This whole thing about, giving women power and rights. They literally have changed nature in the middle of our goddamn life. What was the fertility window? Everybody knows it. The onset of maturity for a woman has historically for 80,000 years been between 15 and 25, 15 and 30, where women could still have babies, but they didn't start at 30, 35, and 40. Well, they've been this quite push over the last 20 to 30 years to accept it. They even say having children later in life is better for them because they're better parents, meaning that the kids will be raised better now that they're a grown adult and not 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So more babies are being born to women in their 40s than their teen years. Teenage pregnancy is declining. All right. They're fucking like crazy and being hung over the head in their dorm room. They're having all their fun up front from 15 to 25, 15 to 30, and then they want to get married.
And that's you.
So that's the first way they're flipping nature. That's the first way they're flipping nature. Just on the idea that they could just get started late. All right, let's just start late. I ain't got no time. And then you're like, well, you're not going to have kids. And I'm like, I froze my eggs. I can have kids late. Okay? There's a woman that had a video that was going feral. She was in her 40s, late 40s, and she had her first kid. And she was like, I feel so happy. I had my first kid. More women should do this. She was in her mid to late 40s. It was a black woman, but she looked kind of mulatto. And they were celebrating her in the comments, bruh. 48. I think she was close to 48. And I was like, damn. So they flipped nature just on that. Then when you include in vitro fertilization, birth control, abortion, this is all a fight for them to flip nature right on its head. Okay. Then we got cell editing. We got DNA editing. And so forth and so on. They're flipping it right in front of us to where you niggas are obsolete from 15 to 32. All right? You niggas going to be obsolete. And people are saying, what? Really? No, you guys are obsolete. It's hard for 15 to 30 to make it out here and get a mate. Because these women are like, there's no rush. There's no rush. We can do this shit later on, bruh. And then I can go in and pick the man, the gender, the eye color, the hair. We can obsolete, bro. So as long as they got the money, and I've said this, I predicted this because a lot of people in this space have been saying these things, these comfort things, that once artificial womb comes out, men won't need women to procreate. And I have disagreed with this stance. And one of the reasons I disagreed, I would say, guys, men won't be the primary users of this. It will be women. It will be women 35, 40, 45 into their 50s. And I've had some people disagree with me. And I'm like, let's just put this in perspective. Today, who are the primary users of science to have babies? With the available science we have today, who are the primary users? When I tell a man, well, if you don't want to have kids in America because it's risky for child support, you can be a surrogate. Men have overwhelmingly said, no, I'm not going to do that surrogate shit. Which means, in effect, the women are more likely to use surrogacy because men still at that point will not want to pay. You niggas don't want to pay for pussy, all right? Like, you niggas will pay for nothing, guys. So men will still have the idea that they don't want to pay. Of course, we're having a little interruption here.
New world order.
So this is, again, without a doubt, when you start talking about science and all of that, refresh your stream. They've been messing with my stream all week this week. When you start talking about men and women and the science and the push for science, it is going to be women that are going to be the primary users. Men will just abstain, go away, monk mode, MGTOW, go in the corner. Men don't want to pay. So do me a favor, refresh the stream. And it's right on time that I bring this up because this is what's happening. When you talk about in vitro fertilization, who uses in vitro fertilization, men or women? Women do. Okay, men, how many men have you heard freeze their sperm versus women freeze their eggs? You hear way more women freezing their eggs. I don't hear that many men saying, I'm going to freeze my sperm to give me the best chance at DNA. And we don't have to because we can always make babies into our older age. But you don't have men looking for medical solutions to their issues, scientific solutions to their issues, because we don't need to. We can do this. But again, you will have guys say, I'm not going to have babies out here. I'm not going to have it. So, yes, men can do this. You can do this. Again, men don't explore issues when it comes to science and this light. So that means that I'm going to tell you guys, women are going to be the primary users of artificial womb. They're going to be 50-year-old women having babies, okay? And this ain't even close to being false. They'll have 50-year-old women producing babies, artificial womb, before you men, 20s and 30s, will be paying a goddamn dime for artificial womb. And by the time you get 40 and 50 as a man, why would you do the artificial womb? Why would you do it? You're like, man, nah, bro, I could just get a 20-year-old and impregnate her right here. I could go to the Philippines. I could go to Colombia. I can go here. So you're not going to use it. Yep, 70s, 60s, and 70s too. So I've been saying that. I heard a lot of guys saying, oh, when it comes, we're going to not need women. It's going to be women using it. They're going to spend their money left and right. They're going to miss their fertility window, and they're going to go fucking do the artificial womb. Anyway. All right. So anyway, men still will be stuck on paying. Well, I don't want to pay. What do I tell you guys? You can pay $90,000 for a surrogate right now. For you guys, coach, what if I want to have kids and I don't want to be a state involved in it? I'll say, listen, you could have you could have a surrogate right now. You could find a woman. There's surrogate websites all over the goddamn country and the world. You can pay her to put your sperm and your seed in her body. She can carry it. Dwayne Wade did this with Gabrielle Union. You can do this right now. If you want to have kids, it's going to cost you her lawyer. You're probably going to have to cover her legal fees, or she has to pay the legal fees. You're going to cover the cost for her to carry the child, deliver it, prenatal, postnatal, and all of that shit. You're going to have your lawyer iron this out. It's going to cost you $90,000 up front. 0% of men are going to do that. Zero. Why? Because it costs $90,000. They're like, man, I want to do that. That's too expensive. And this and that. You want a love child. See, what men want is a love child. They want to create kids out of love. So they'll start hitting me with morality and 2-parent households are better. And it's better to have, it's not moral to have one man have a child and a nanny raising it. Nigga, we do this shit all the time. We do this all the time. What are we talking about? People are raising kids exactly like this. And when women raise them, there's no problem. But when a man wants to do it, it's a problem. You can't do that. They need a mother. Do we have women raising kids without a father all day long? How is it a moral issue all of a sudden? So this is where men have to find out. I'm giving you the God's honest truth. Men are their own worst enemies in this conversation. You are looking for a solution, which basically the solution boils down is that you want to fuck a woman and get her pregnant. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. And you want it out of love and genuine. I want it to be loving and genuine. You know what women are doing? We don't need none of that shit. We don't need none of that. We don't need no love. Freeze them goddamn eggs. Bust a nut in that Petri dish. They'll steal your sperm and separate you from the baby. They'll raise the baby as a single mother. They'll marry you, divorce you, and take your kids and raise them on their own. They'll fucking do eugenics and create a kid out of not even out of love. He's tall, 6'5" with a blue eyes in finance. No love required. No love required. Okay? No love required. And no moral issues about they need a father to raise them in two-parent household. They don't give a fuck. They'll steal your condom out of the trash can if you're rich. Put a goddamn turkey baster and shove it up their pussy. They'll get paid 18 years of child support in advance and walk away with the goddamn kid. There's what? And you sitting up there trying, again, when it comes to dating and romance, the moral issues are always attached. The moral responsibilities always attached to the man. Well, you got to do the right thing, and you got to be here. Let's see what the women are doing. Not the right thing at all. At all. They're doing the absolute everything against nature, and then we got to somehow keep them from doing it by shaming and guilting them. Gentlemen, this shit is out of hand, bruh. It's out of hand. All right. As soon as I say I'm going to hire a surrogate and have a kid, what? This is improper. We can't do this. This is irresponsible. The kids need a mother. What the fuck? $90,000? You're tricking. You can just get a woman to love you and do it for free. The moral responsibility is always going to be on the man. The man's got to do this somehow and not pay any money. That's the only right way. But then when the women are doing it, they're doing everything but the right thing. They're killing their kids in the womb. You see what I mean? Like, what are y'all talking about? And when I tell you, you can pay $90,000 to hire a Mexican surrogate. You can hire a surrogate of any race and have her carry the body. I don't want to do all that. And then pay $250,000 in child support when your kid gets snatched from you. I'm like, well, you paid somehow. You end up paid. You end up paying. You done spent $750,000 in divorce fees. I didn't want to pay though. Okay, are y'all following me now? As men, are you following me? I'm trying to put this down and lay this down so when you start talking about artificial womb and men ain't gonna need women, y'all niggas ain't gonna use that either. All they're gonna do is put it out of your price range and you niggas gonna be crying when old women have babies with the artificial womb, because they will. They are going to. They're gonna use it way more than you. All right, so anyway. Yeah, Hafiz gonna simp out. I can't believe you're out here raising kids by yourself and then they don't have a proper mother. Moral issue on the guy. There are going to be plenty of... What did Ebony K. Williams do? Of course, she got criticism, but she gathered up all these black women. Black women, go to the sperm bank. I got my vials. Go get yours. And the black women in there, yes, yes. Yeah. New world order. They expect y'all, what men want, at the bottom line, what men want is a love child. They want a love child. They want to create their child out of the definition of love, right? You want to have sex and skeet in her for free, and she show up and say, I'm pregnant. That's your only way, all right? Or the second only way is then to raise another man's child with love. Those are the only two ways. When you start talking about adoption and surrogacy and artificial womb and freezing your sperm and going down there, sperm donate or finding an egg. Hey, these bitches froze their eggs. Let me buy some. All right. And then pick the woman that you want. I ain't doing all that. That seems immoral. Yes. That seems not right. Who's going to raise them? Nanny. Oh, man. Nanny's not going to raise my kid. Okay. Well, if you have a kid in America with an American woman, you know who's going to raise your kid? A daycare worker. Then a teacher. Your mom, the mom's not going to raise them. the mother of your child is not going to raise them. There's a 77% chance that a woman you have a baby with is not going to primarily raise them. It's going to be a daycare worker or a teacher from what is it? K4 from kindergarten? Yeah, YouTube. Motherfucking iPad. Not even grandma's going to raise them. What are you talking about? Women are going to raise the kids. There's an 80% chance that she's not going to have the primary responsibility to raise the kid. All right. So you guys come up with these moral conversations, right? I'm putting reality on top of it, and I'm shaking up the world. I'm shocking the world. New world order. These women ain't quitting their goddamn jobs. I don't care if they work at fucking bagging groceries. They're not quitting those jobs to raise kids. They're going to work things, careers, and shit like this. Yes.
So I could focus on my career.
So these conversations about men, you guys are ill-equipped to combat what I'm talking about. If you use morality to try to combat what I'm talking about, I'm going to just give you a smack of reality about what the world looks like. Women do not raise kids today. They don't. Teachers raise them. Daycare centers raise them. iPad raises them. YouTube, video games. Not even grandma raises kids. Grandma's still out here working. Grandma out here still hoeing. So what are you talking about? She's still, grandma's divorced once or twice in these goddamn streets. Try to drop your kids off at your grandma's house. All right, or at their grandmama's house. Hey, grandmama, and use the kid's grandmama as daycare today. That shit don't exist. That don't exist, bro. That is almost non-existent in today's world, where you could just tell a woman she's 45, 50, 55, 60, hey, I'm going to drop the kids at your house every day so we can go to work. No. That's almost non-existent in today's world. It does exist in some places. That's pretty much non-existent. Right? I don't care if the grandmama's working or not. That shit ain't there no more. Grandma out here fucking. Grandma out here cheating on her husband. Grandma out here working, baby. Her fingers to the bone. So these moral issues, y'all trying to use morality where you're in fantasy fucking world, and I'm in reality. I'm like, what? What are y'all talking about? Woman raising the kids. You could have a kid with a surrogate and hire a nanny. That's what the kid was going to do if you had the child with the mother. The mother will barely see that child. Barely. The mother's going to see that kid at 5:36, 6 p.m. Unless you marry a stay-at-home mom, which is very difficult to do in this economy. Are we cooking with hot fish grease, nigga, or what? All right? Doom and gloom CGA. I'm cooking y'all, man. I'm cooking y'all with this reality. That's why they call me the Mitch Slapper. The good old days are gone, bro. Them days are gone. Who's got a grandmother, do you know, that raised you? Meaning that today, not in the 90s, not in the 80s, today. Whose grandmother do you know are raising kids? Replacing the daycare. Who? I'll wait. Just go ahead and tell me. Not in the 90s, not in the 2000s, the 2000s, the 00s. I'm talking about in 2025. What grandma? What woman do you know are raising their kids? They wake up with the kids. They give them motherfucking, graham crackers. And then in the middle of the day, they give them bologna. Right? And then at the end of the day, they give them Chef Boyardee. They give them hot dogs on the stick. They give them ants on the log. They give them peanut butter and celery. What woman you know is doing that right now? Now, Mexican grandmamas, abuelas might be doing it, but she got to be hella old. I mean, she got to be hella old doing it, like an old abuela. Yep, they give them pizza and dino chicken nuggets. Who's doing this today in America? Today. There's a very small group of people doing this. It is not very common for this to happen. But it does happen, but we're talking about, is this the norm? Is more than 30% of people doing it? Nah, I would say 20% of people have access to this. Everybody else is daycare and school, public school. And then if we go another 20 years, this will not exist. All right. This will be non-existence. So let's get back to reality and tell you what's going to happen here and what your options are as a man. Okay. He says the ex-in-law said no. Ain't doing it. All right. How many women do you know raising their kids? They wake up in the morning like that. How many people you know? It happens in the suburbs. I know that to be a fact. But it's non-existence. All right. They said surrogate in Mexico is $15K. All right. There you go. They could get a discount down there with Maria. All right. Let's get back to this part of the show. I do have to acknowledge some contributors. Yeah, man. Shout out to Sean.